Another small improvement I've made to the 1228 lathe is this button thing. I'll show a picture of what happened. Eventually those plastic buttons get cracked and they start to fall apart. And so I was going to order a new faceplate for this whole thing, and then I started thinking, that's kind of crazy because I have to replace all this just because of those buttons. So I came up with putting this over top of it. And that's, will start the lathe, will stop the lathe, and do your forward and reverse. And it's a real easy thing to make. This is just a piece of aluminum. I'm eventually going to change this to black. I didn't like the aluminum. It just sort of doesn't go with the lathe. But it works really good, and you don't have to replace that whole plate. It's basically a thin stick-on, I guess, and it only lasted about 2 years, 3 years of heavy use. So like I said, I'm going to remake this with black phenolic and make it out of 3/16 instead of 1/4 inch. Make it a little thinner, and it'll still do the same thing. And I think this will just look better than the aluminum. So we'll run you through how I did it. It's very simple. So I've got the piece of phenolic cut there, and I'm going to round off the edges just to make it a little prettier. And then I'm going to drill the holes in it. It's not a real complicated thing. So there it is rounded off. Now what I'm going to do is buff out the edges just so it looks like I made it on purpose, and see how that looks. So all I'm going to do here is transfer the holes from the first one I made to that one and re-drill them. And I can probably use the same buttons over again, I hope. Located one hole. I put a 540 bolt in here, and I put a nut on it. I'm going to tighten that up, and that'll hold it. And I can take the clamp off of this end and line that up and put the second hole in it. There's the second hole. So those are 3/8. I'm going to drill those all through 3/8. And then I'm going to put it in the mill, and I'm going to put the counter bore in the back with an end mill. So this is I'm just using a 3/8 pin to line these up, and I got to leave enough space to get my end mill in there, so that should be just about right. Right there. So this was almost a 1/2 inch, so I'm going to make that counter bore a 1/2 inch diameter, and I'm going to try to use these same buttons over again. Falling apart here. So I'm going to do this with the little readout here. So that's 0, and going to go in about 90 thousandths without any trouble. There it is, 90 thousandths deep. Fortunately, I made these 700 thousandths apart, so I know that dimension. I can just go and do the second one. So there's the counter bores. They look pretty good. So the last thing I have to do is counter bore these for the two Allen screws, which is 1/8 inch deep. So I'm going to do that in the drill press again because it's easier to set up. And I have a dial indicator up here that I can set the depth on. 5. Should go right in there. I'll lock that and zero my dial indicator. And that's it. Hopefully that's the finished product. So there it is. I think that looks a lot better in black. Everything works good. I like that much better. So that's a quick fix for when these, when the front plate lays out, wears out and you can see the buttons sticking through. I think that makes it look a lot nicer, and that'll last forever basically. And if you liked what you saw, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. We appreciate you watching. Bye.